Well, happy birthday to you. Still the month of May. One of the things I realized is a lot of the sports people, footballers, tennis players, and swimmers and runners have their birthdays in May. Fantastic, right? Okay, so happy birthday to you. If anybody's celebrating their birthdays today, we say that may the Lord bless you and keep you. I'm thinking that today is Frida Amafu's birthday, but I'm going to have to confirm that in a minute, and I'll celebrate her in a grand style because she's a good friend of mine. All right, now let's settle for the news, keeping you updated on what's international and what's on the local scene by way of Wake Up Buzz. Okay, so our very first story. Resign honorably, you tag UG to Auditor General over unethical audit report. So teachers at the University of Ghana, UG, are demanding the resignation of the Auditor General, Johnson Ekwamwa Esedu, over a recent report which implicated the country's premier university, that's the University of Ghana, Lagos. At a press conference on Tuesday, May 20, the secretary of the University of Ghana chapter of the University Teachers Association, UTAG of UG, Dr. Jerry Joe Jackson, faulted the Auditor General over claims of irregularities in a recent payroll audit report. The report had indicated that the university overstated employee compensation by 59.2 million Ghana cedis at an assertion that the university management had debunked. So the university is saying that they were not even privy to this report. They didn't ask about it to get their feedback, see what it is before the Auditor General brought it to the public notice. And so they are actually threatening to get him out of office because of that conduct. See how that goes. Traders on Accra pavements will face 2,000 cedi fine, Linda Oklu warns. So the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Oklu, has announced a 2,000 fine for traders operating on pavements and streets within the Central Business District here in Accra. This announcement follows a decongestion exercise jointly undertaken by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, AMA, at the Kole Municipal Assembly on Tuesday, May 20, aimed at clearing street traders from unauthorized locations. Now, the exercise forms part of a broader initiative to reduce congestion, enforce city bylaws, and improve sanitation in the capital city. So this is it. If you're found culpable, traders are not supposed to be at certain parts of the street. And so if you're there and you are found, you'll be paying 2,000 cedis. Now the traders are also saying that they don't have a place to put it, but I mean the city must be clean and traffic must also be reduced for workers. So let's find a common ground. Get a stall in the marketplace, would you? Now to the SkyTrain trial. Former GIIF CEO still in custody over unmet bail conditions. So former CEO of the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, GIIF, Solomon Asamoah, who is the first accused in the ongoing SkyTrain case, remains in custody after failing to meet bail conditions imposed a week ago. So Mr. Asamoah is standing trial alongside the former board chair of the fund, Professor Christopher Ameo Ekumfi, on charges of willfully causing financial loss to the state and the dissipation of public funds. The two are accused of authorizing a transfer of $2 million in public funds from GIIF accounts to Africa Investor Holdings, and a company contracted to build and operate the proposed SkyTrain project, a project that was paid for, and we never saw any real project done on it, the SkyTrains. Well, let's see how that goes, and if they've spent our money, they should refund it to the state. It's needed. The decongestion exercise is not only happening in Kumasi, it's also happening here in Accra. We touched on the story already. But decongestion exercise, not a 9-day wonder. That's what the Accra mayor is saying. He says that they're going to be doing this from today till Friday, and they would have a task force, a team that will ensure that it is kept as it is. So speaking at a press conference on May 20, after the rollout of the operation, the mayor stressed that the initiative will be sustained until all unauthorized structures, I beg your pardon, and street obstructions are removed. So the exercise is not a 9-day wonder. We're all on the street to make sure that the roads are clear. And he says that they're not done. So if you're a trader, advise yourself, find a stall in the market and do the needful. Okay, now to health matters. NIA condemns gruesome murder of Bongo district manager and urges swift justice. The National Health Insurance Authority has expressed deep shock and outrage over the gruesome murder of its Bongo district manager, Mohammed Seydou Akugri, who was reportedly killed on Monday, May 19, 2025, in the Upper East region. Now, a press statement released May 20th, that's yesterday, the NIA described Mr. Akugri as a dedicated, hardworking, and highly respected member of its management, praising its unwavering commitment, integrity, and service to both the authority and the people of Bongo. The executive management said this tragic death is not only a significant loss to its family and colleagues, but also to the wider NHIA and community that he served. So we're looking at getting to have some justice. Investigations must go on. Our condolences to the family of the Bongo district manager. Right, so Sam George demands retraction and apology over Lex's gift claim. Oh, you would not imagine the thrill on social media. Now, Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Sam George, most people call him, has issued a formal demand for a retraction and apology from New Patriotic Party MPP activist PK Sapon over allegations that he received a Lexus vehicle as a gift in violation of President John Dramani Mahama's recently introduced code of conduct for government appointees. In a Facebook post, Sapon claimed that Mr. George was using an unregistered vehicle described as a top-of-the-range Lexus, alleging it was a gift from an unnamed individual. And he suggested that this is an act that contravened the president's directive, which cautions against the acceptance of gifts by government officials to prevent potential conflicts of interest. So Sam George is saying, through his lawyers, and he's demanding Sapon to remove the Facebook post and retract, and then also give an unqualified apology within 7 days. Else, what will follow might be the law. Okay, May 18 downpour. So death toll rises to 4 and then over 3,000 displaced. NADMO confirms. I still have an issue with why NADMO only shows up when it rains. Because I was hoping that there will be measures put in place. But citizens also compound issues, building in waterways and all of that. Well, Deputy Director of Protocol and Relief of the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, Samuel Abuache has confirmed that over 3,000 persons have been displaced following a heavy rainstorm that hit Accra on Sunday, May 18th. In an interview on Sunrise with Helen Amafo, he actually said that over 3,000 residents have been displaced, with 4 deaths so far. Well, the GMET is actually saying that there's going to be more rains. I don't know how prepared we are, but from the look of things, the country is not prepared at all for more rains. And there's also the advice that if you have somewhere that you can go, a higher land, a friend who lives in a place that's not flood prone, you should make that move real quick for your own safety. Well, that was it for the local news. Let's get into the international news now. Khartoum accuses UAE of direct involvement in drone strikes on Port Sudan. So Sudan has accused the United Arab Emirates of carrying out a drone attack on the wartime administrative capital of Port Sudan earlier this month. It says that it is the first time that Sudan has accused the Gulf state of direct military intervention in its civil war against the Parliamentary Rapid Support Forces, RSF. Now, Idris also claimed that the 4th May strike on Port Sudan was a revenge for an army attack on the day earlier on an alleged Emirati warplane in the RSF controlled by Nyala. So that's it, retaliations, right? UK suspends trade deal negotiations with Israel. Now, Foreign Secretary David Lammy said the UK's existing trade agreement is in effect, but the government can't continue discussions with an Israeli government pursuing what he called egregious policies in the West Bank and Gaza. Lammy said the president's cycle of violence by extremist Israeli settlers in the West Bank demanded action. That's it. London court sentences Egyptian man for smuggling people to Italy. Oh my God. So a London court on Tuesday sentenced an Egyptian man to 25 years in prison for smuggling people into North Africa, from North Africa to Italy. Ahmed Ibid, who arrived in the UK in October 2022 after crossing the English Channel in a small boat, pleaded guilty to Southwark Crown Court to conspiracy to assist unlawful immigration. Now, since their arrival in Britain and until June 2023, Ibid, 42, was implicated in at least 7 separate boat crossings as part of a £12 million, oh my God, operation that carried 3,781 people, including children, into Italian waters from North Africa. So some people's Japa method is money, like a money bank for other people. Wow. Well, so to some good news. First, humanitarian aid trucks enter Gaza after 11-week Israeli blockade. So yesterday we looked at the news where Israel decided that they will not supply food and all that to Gaza anymore. Now to this news, the first few humanitarian aid trucks entered Gaza on Monday after Israel announced it would let limited amounts of food into the enclave. Now, Israeli military allowed 5 trucks carrying baby food and other supplies into Gaza Strip via the Karim Shalom crossing in southern Israel, according to the Israeli defense body in charge of coordinating aid to Gaza. So that's pretty good news. Now, the World Health Organization's approved landmark pandemic agreement to improve response in event of future pandemic. The World Health Organization approved a landmark pandemic agreement on Tuesday aimed at better coordination, monitoring, and vaccine sharing in the event of future pandemics. The agreement was reached on day 2 of the World Health Organization annual meeting in Geneva, and as the UN body grapples with US funding cuts and plans to withdraw that have left the agency struggling to carry out its mandate to promote health and keep the world safe. And now to some other stories in Tanzania. Tanzania deports foreign activists supporting detained opposition leader. Now that's the summary of the story. Opposition leader Lashu is facing treason charges. 1, and then activists plan to attend opposition leaders' court appearance. And also, Tanzania's president has warned foreign activists to stay away from this issue. Well, and now to the very last international news item. Uganda passes law to restore military prosecutions of civilians. So Kampala, this news is coming all the way from Kampala. Uganda's parliament on Tuesday passed an amendment law that permits military tribunals to try civilians, prompting protests from the opposition, who said the move violated a Supreme Court ruling in January that banned such trials. Well, Kwaku was for this. I thought that it was also good for certain kind of cases must be tried in the military court. Put some law and order where there isn't one. So that's it by way of Wake Up Buzz, breaking you news on international and local front. Let's take a quick break. And then when we get back, we'll delve deep into the issues. Be right back.
Today, that the power of God that is coming upon your life, no enemy will touch you and go free.
Experience the power